Before we start today's video, check out our merch shop, linked in the description down below. Use code Ahsoka in all caps to get $7 off your order. May the Force be with you, and enjoy the vid.
Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we have some new reveals into the regards of Ezra Bridger in the Ahsoka show. We're gonna go ahead and hop right on into it. In this video we are going to be taking a read from the Direct article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. Hey, we also have our merch store up live and running with some pretty cool designs. Go check that there out as well, linked in the description down below. We have some promo codes. As their article reads, Ezra Bridger actor EMAN ESFANDI had just admitted that he actually purposely avoided watching all of the Star Wars Rebels animated show ahead of his time filming and working on the Ahsoka show. The latest Star Wars Disney Plus series has brought a ton of characters from the animated Rebels show into live action for the very first time, meaning every one of them had a legacy to keep in mind at that. Thankfully, actors like Rosario Dawson and Natasha Liu Bordizzo have both been very vocal about having done their research and their fair share of homework before tackling the characters of Ahsoka and Sabine in live action. Even Mary Elizabeth Winston confirmed that she had watched all of Hera's previous appearances before becoming the fan favorite Star Wars general. Although, we can't necessarily say the same for EMAN ESFANDI, who takes on Ezra Bridger in live action in the Ahsoka show, although that clearly isn't a bad thing. While the Direct was in attendance at LA Comic-Con's Ahsoka panel, moderated by Eric Goldman, Ezra Bridger actor EMAN ESFANDI revealed that he purposely avoided watching Star Wars Rebels before his scenes in filming for the Ahsoka show. ESFANDI explained that he didn't watch all of Rebels because he didn't want to get too caught up in the younger version of Ezra and his character, saying that, in quotes, "I admittedly wish if you would have found this out prior, you might have, taken my head off, but maybe now you don't think that. I didn't actually watch all of Rebels. I didn't want to get too caught up in the younger version of Ezra. I felt very connected to an older version, the way that he was written," ending that quote right there. And while the actor didn't see all of the show, he watched some, namely core episodes of where Ezra had scenes very intimately with like Sabine or the Ghost Crew or Ahsoka, just in the way of in the manner of how his character interacts and acts around with those kinds of characters overall. So while he didn't watch all of the Star Wars Rebels show, he did watch some of it here and there. He says that, in quotes, "And I watched the episodes of where Ezra had scenes very intimately with like Sabine and the Ghost Crew and Ahsoka in particular, and just to understand that dynamic. Obviously, the hologram message, and my TikTok became flooded with that scene. Rest in peace, Kanan. So I was inundated with a lot of it," ending that quote right there. According to the actor, he was getting such good feedback during the production that he felt comfortable fully catching up at a later point in time on the Rebels show. He says that, in quote, "But I didn't watch it all until after the show, because Dave Filoni and everyone else who was directing me were, so like reaffirming, like, no, yeah, that's Ezra. Oh, that's also so Ezra. And we'd be backstage, that's just Ezra." I was like, okay, so then I think we're good. Like, I'll watch it later. So I didn't actually do the immersion thing until all the way after shooting. Ending that quote right there. This is definitely something that ESFANDI has been highly praised for, is that he doesn't really have to act all that much like as Ezra per se. He's not method acting by any means. It's just his personality. Like, he's just like Ezra Bridger, really. I feel that's something that a lot of fans and in the overall community have praised the actor for quite a bit. If you've ever seen him like in any of his Instagram videos, Instagram stories, or anything of that nature, Instagram Live, like, he really is just kind of like Ezra Bridger. I don't really know how else to explain it. One notable example of someone who didn't watch any source material before stepping into an already established character, and was something that wasn't really highly praised though in comparison, was Rupert Friend as the Grand Inquisitor in the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus show. Unsurprisingly though, audiences were not the biggest fan of the villain's live-action adaptation, and had often blamed for the fact of that he didn't know how to act because he didn't know, the source material of the Grand Inquisitor character from the Rebels animated show. I don't stand by that that, I can't support that. I don't think that's necessarily the reason. Although, I think that's something to discuss in a later different video. Anyway, was not watching Rebels a good choice for Ezra? And furthermore, where will we see Ezra return in the near future? It just never seems like a great idea to tell an actor to avoid the source material that they've created, that the very character that they're tasked with bringing to life, especially when it comes to Star Wars. These people have legacies. There's a lot of pressure to get it all right, really. One key reason it probably worked out so well, though, here is that Dave Filoni was involved in every step of the way in the overall process. In Filoni we trust. When the original creator is helping make their characters a reality, they know exactly what to be looking for and aiming for. A similar thing actually happened with Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey in The Last of Us. Both were told to actually avoid playing the games ahead of the production. However, the original game director and writer were leading the charge for the live-action show over on HBO, leaving very little of a chance when it comes to correctly portraying the iconic characters in a wrong way. When none of the original creative talent is around to help lead the charge of a character's debut in a new medium, taking an already pre-established character maybe from a game or from a book, the situation could end up like Rupert Friend's Grand Inquisitor in Obi-Wan Kenobi, unfortunately. I don't want to say it, but that could be just an outcome of maybe poor directing or writing. A villain who doesn't feel like his original incarnation in the slightest to any means. While it still stinks to hear EMAN ESFANDI didn't watch all of Rebels ahead of filming, at the very least, it's good to say that he's now caught up on the whole thing. So any future appearances from the character will be influenced by all of Ezra's previous stories, as it kind of should be. Ezra Bridger really could pop up, I guess, anywhere in the near future of the Mandoverse. The most notable has to be, well, the next live action in addition to the Mandoverse, Star Wars Skeleton Crew, featuring Jude Law, coming out early next year. It's also been said and heavily rumored around, teased even at that from the cast and crew members of both of the Ahsoka show and Skeleton Crew, that it's saying that the Ahsoka show is kind of said to directly set things up, or at least play into the events of what we see in Star Wars Skeleton Crew. So there's definitely a good measure there of, at least having something into the regards of Ezra Bridger popping up, or at least a name drop in Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Aside from that, the two other, or maybe even three other given choices for Ezra's next appearance in the Mandoverse was either a season 2 of Ahsoka, possibly, potentially, could very well be unfolding. It feels like that we're always covering and talking about that here on the channel, and we'll continue to keep you guys updated with that here on the channel. All the more reason to grab that subscribe button and that notification bell if you haven't already. The other area is The Mandalorian Season 4, which is going to begin production fairly soon in the new year, January 2024. So if we hear or see anything into the regards of EMAN ESFANDI setting step on the set of The Mandalorian Season 4, we'll probably hear of it. And lastly, another one I think that's kind of a given is Dave Filoni's big Mandoverse cultimation movie that was announced at the beginning of this year at Star Wars Celebration. Of course, guys, I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.